about unity. Now, there are multiple examples in the Bible about unity, but the two places where it should be in the most is the church and in the household. But in Timothy 3:5, 1 Timothy 3:5, it says, "If anyone does not know how to manage his own family, how can he take care of God's church?" That's specifically saying you have to take care of the unity in your house before you can do the church. Let's talk about the family first. Now, a family can be ranging from only 2 people to, I don't know, like 22. But no matter the size, you should still be able to be peaceful with one another. One of the reasons unity is good is not just because you're blood related, because you're brothers and sisters in the eyes of God. And so you want to keep that peace because the Lord Jesus died on the cross for him, and that's one of the reasons he secured that unity when he died on the cross. So when unity nowadays is more like a youth organization, but unity to the Lord is not something forcefully given. It's something that you'll find in the heart. And especially in the Lord shows us how he wants you to love one another, and that's one of the commandments he created, where he wants you to love people as he loved you, and that's one of the golden rules. Treat people how you want to be treated. And so if someone does something to you, one big thing is forgiveness, and that's what we need, not just saying that we forgive them, but actually meaning and taking to heart just how Jesus forgave us. And that's one thing about unity. To keep that, you have to have peaceful, but to be peaceful, you don't want to be angry. And when you pray, you can ask the Lord to make sure you can ask you're in a more peaceful way. You're not so angry all the time. And there are people who get angry all the time, but there are people who are naturally just nice. Whoever you are, you always want to be peaceful to your family, to others and your family. So that's how. And when you keep a peaceful home, everybody's there's a better atmosphere, and there's a better spirit, and the Lord comes to you more when you're a lot more peaceful. And he won't come as often if you're like grumbling. So since when you know how to act, when you know how to be, have a unity with your family, you can go in with the church. Now, a lot of the unity we see in the Bible is from the apostles, especially from Paul. Now, back in the day, and during Paul's time, the Jews and Gentiles there was a really big gap between them, so that wasn't that good back then. But since Paul was like a leader of the church, he wanted to stop that. And so one of the things, so in 1 Corinthians 12:13 it says, "For in one spirit we are all baptized into one body, Jews or Greeks, slave or free, and all were made to drink of one spirit." So since there were a lot of the Jews and Gentiles were fighting, the church didn't grow from that. They got farther away. Like I said, because Jesus died, he wanted to secure that unity, and he wanted to keep us all in one. Want to keep us in one body, in one spirit. So if we're not at peace, and we're not resolved with everybody, we can't have a good spirit inside the church. Now, in 1 Peter 1:22 it says, "Having purified your souls by your obedience to the truth, for sincere brother love one another earnestly from a pure heart." So I said about the families, but a brother doesn't have to be just from blood to blood. It can be someone very close. It can just be someone very close to you. And like I said, you have to love, like Jesus did to us. You have to love and forgive them as always. You have to always forgive and love that person, even if they do something wrong. Because in the Bible it states, if you get angry at your brother, it's literally the same thing as it's the same thing as murdering them. Like I said, Jesus wanted us to not just be forcefully, but like he wanted it to be almost like an unseen thing where it comes naturally. Because if you do things with not in your heart, it doesn't matter. You can say everything you want, but if you don't take it to heart, and then it doesn't really matter. So one thing about unity is you need to be able to preserve it, and to do it might be hard if you're usually like an angry person or like you're a grumbling person, but like the Lord can help us. The Lord can help with all of that. So you just need to pray to the Lord and help to make sure that you're always accepting people into the church. You're always like not like even though during Corona you're supposed to be social distancing. When you accept people, when you accept people into the church, there's a better spirit, and the Lord can move freely